tomato egg over rice. We're gonna make a classic of Chinese cuisine, easy dish to make today, the tomato egg over rice. All right, so first thing we do is get the rice started. Rice, perfect. And I have a little rice cooker, which I have right here. We have now our rice, which is in this nice little container. And here we have it in cups, right? That's quarter cup, half a cup. Let's try 1 cup. This should be a full cup, right? Just pour the full cup of rice in here, right? And here you want to wash the rice. And it's very easy to do this. You just run it through water. You just wash it a little bit. Use your hands, yeah. You just doing that. Pour out the first layer, right? Keeping the water, keeping the rice in there. So you basically want to do this until maybe 3 or 4 times until the water that you pour out is translucent instead of that milky white, you know. And then you get it to the bottom, and now you look at, you know, the water level, right? That's 1 cup right there, right there. So we're gonna add cold water now. Just to that level. So we put this in, and then now you just plug it in. So while that's cooking, we're gonna prepare the dish. And it's very easy, right? Tomato egg. Step 1, get yourself some eggs. You know, how many eggs you put in sort of depends on, you know, how hungry you are. But typically for 1 person, for a meal, I like to do like 2, maybe like 3. You want to rinse the egg a little bit, crack them open against the side of the bowl, right? I like to scoop it out a little bit. Don't waste anything. Egg number 2. This is big. I feel like there's 2 in here, but we will see. Oh, yep, there we go. There's a twin right there. So now what you need to do is you gotta whisk it. You can use a whisk, you can use a machine, or you can use a pair of chopsticks, just like this. The key is to sort of flip it up like that. You're doing this. And then once you stop, you want to see the egg bubbling like that. See that? We're going to add some scallions in there. Maybe just 2. 2 should be enough. Again, you know, all of this is very loosey-goosey. You know, it's your food. So you decide what you want to put in it and what you want to eat. Wash it. And you want to just chop it into very small chunks. And you cut it in half, right? Bunch it together. It really helps to have a sharp knife. That's actually how you keep your fingers safe. You just put a little bit inside the mixture because the rest go with the tomatoes. These are beefsteak tomatoes. The problem is that it's round, right? So it moves around. So the first thing you do is you cut it in half so you have a surface, a flat surface. Now we just do very easy. And there we go. There are the slices. Now there's another way to chop it if you're not comfortable doing it this way, because it is kind of slippery and your surface for chopping gets smaller and smaller, right, as your finger moves back. Another way to do it is just to chop it like a pear. Make sure your fingers are out of the way, and then you can just cut slices off of it, like apple wedges. It doesn't matter that the shapes are different, right, because once you put it into the pot, it's all gonna basically melt anyway. There we go. And now what we need is our trusty all-clad stainless steel pot, just in case here. Right? So turn the range on. I love like a range that has a fire instead of electrical. First thing you got to do is wait for the water, see the water in the pan, to evaporate so the pan is dry. Just that dumps some of the excess water out. And you do that because if you put oil in the pan before the water evaporates, then you're going to have splashing. The oil is going to splatter everywhere. And the oil that we're going to use is actually extra virgin olive oil because they're a bit healthier to cook with. There we go. Now olive oil burns at a pretty low temperature, so you don't really want to keep it in there just by itself for too long. That's the first thing to go in almost immediately. There we go, that's a good sound right there, huh? Take your spatula and just move the egg around. Move it around so that, you know, it doesn't stick to the bottom. While it's still kind of watery, this is where you add the salt. Put the salt on here because this way you can have some kind of measurement, right? So I'm going to put that in there. The eggs are starting to dry now, right? I can sort of tell. And so turn the fire off. That way it doesn't burn the eggs, right? The pan will just continue to heat the eggs now. Just taste a little bit. You see about saltiness? Alright, that ain't bad. Put the egg back in the bowl just for storage purposes. Round 2. This time we are going to put the tomatoes in there. There we go. We're going to put the scallions in there as the first thing. Okay. To give it some flavor, we are going to add the tomatoes. Stir this. Yeah. Very good. See how it's already breaking up. Close the lid, leave it in there for a second, and we are going to come back in about, I don't know, 3 minutes. Open it up, don't burn your hands. And now, as you can see, right, we got this kind of soup-like mixture, right? Which means now we can add more salt. Once again, we're just going to make a small mound right here of salt. Put that in there and stir it. This is also the time to add the egg back into the pot. Right. There we go. There we go. Just gotta chop it up, right? Mix it together. And you gotta taste your food while you're making it, right? Just gonna get a little piece. Very good. And there we go. Look at that beauty. And here we have the rice. And that, my friend, is rice cooked to perfection. Ooh, it is just soggy. And that, my friend, is tomato egg over rice.